Good morning. 1 second. I have to edit that out. That overhead light just is too damn bright. Messing with the lighting. Sorry about that, folks. We got a lot to talk about. We got the G7. We got Trump. The deal with Iran. The specifics are coming out. This is wow. I mean, just wow. Let's get into it. Let's dig into it. Good morning, everybody. I like to just frame things. I like to give you a lens to look through as we're talking about what's going on in the G7, what's going on with Trump's Iran deal. That is just it's blowing my mind. The more I find out, it is just blowing my mind. I got to say, kudos to Iran. Kudos. This is an incredible deal. But yeah, I'm going to answer your questions about. There's a lot of speculation flowing around about where the money's coming from and all that other. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we do, let's just talk about Mark Wayne Mullen and the corruption that is just up front and in your face with the Trump administration. Are y'all familiar with kratom? Are y'all familiar with kratom? Do y'all know what that is? They call it a gas station drug. Are you familiar with it? Okay, kratom is not grass. Okay, it's not. It is highly addictive. It is a shit drug. It really is. It is a shit drug. Um, you heard, I believe it was George Carlin that said, "Don't smoke dope when you're high because you don't get any higher. You just get lower on dope." Um, yeah, that's not the case with kratom. Kratom will send you to the emergency room. I mean, it is. You can have convulsions. You can have. This is not a fun drug, and it is highly addictive. It is. They have the people that want to sell this have been skirting the yes, it's extreme. It goes after the same receptors in your brain that opium does. Exactly. It is very similar, and they've come up with synthetic versions of it to skirt the law. And they sell it. You can find it in gas stations. You can find it in smoke shops. You can find, those tobacco shops that sprouted up everywhere. All of that. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And if you've never heard of it, you need to become familiar with it because your kids, your grandkids have heard of it. They have. Um, well, Kratom just recently found friends in the Trump administration. The Food and Drug Administration have um, disappeared all the warnings about kratom. Yeah, I mean, just boom, poof, gone. Um, and I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that Mark Wayne Mullen has $1 million investment in a kratom company. Yeah. Yeah. It's that simple. It, it I'm a bit without words on this. I'm a bit. It's insane. It's just insane how out in the open, how in your face this is. Let me pull up Mark Wayne Mullen has $1 million invested in botanic tonics. Let me show you what happens when you do a search for botanic tonics. One second. Boom. This is what pops up. This is insane. This drug is a problem, people. This is not grass. This is not it's okay. It's not no. This is sending people to the emergency room. But Mark Wayne Mullen, the head of DHS, has $1 million investment in a company that sells this shit. You know, when you go into a gas station, you see those little vials of shit all around the register, and yeah, he's selling it. This is insane. This is way up front in your face corruption. And these are the kind of people that are making these deals, folks. These are the people that make up the Trump administration. These are the people that just made, these are the people that are running your government because Trump is out of it, gone, weekend at Bernie's. And if you think I'm kidding about that, I want you to watch this. This was from the G7. This is Trump. One second. Let me. This is Trump. They were taking a picture at the G7. This is how out of it he was. One second. All right, here we go. I want you to watch. They're announcing we're taking a picture. I mean, Macron here is telling everybody. Everybody's turning around. Watch Trump.
Thank you. Just tournez-vous 2 secondes. Regardez les derniers. May, could you have a look to these guys?
Tournez-vous. Regardez-les derrière vous.
Georgia, you have the official.
He never makes it to the camera. I mean, he's just gone. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, he was asleep." No, his eyes are open. He's just gone. And nobody, the media is not. I mean, why are they not on this like white on rice? I don't get it. He never makes it to the camera. The entire room. I mean, people are turning around in their seats. Macron is telling everybody, you get Frederick Mish, this is Georgia, reminding Georgia Maloney, because she's rifling through some stuff, So, yeah. What the fuck, man? And I wish that was it, but it's not. This clip is circulating. This is the first meeting. I wish this was the end of the humiliation. It's not. This is the first meeting at the G7. Trump shows up An hour late. An hour late, he shows up. And then walks in the room and says this. You have to listen very carefully. The audio is just not that great in this. But yeah, he just walks in and says this. They all laugh. I mean, they what else are you going to do? But yeah, he just walks in and says this.
Hello, I'm the boss.
One more time.
Hello, I'm the boss.
I mean, that was literally his introduction into the G7. That was the first statement at the first meeting. He shows up an hour late and he walks in and says, I'm the boss. Well, you tell me, does this look like the boss? I mean, really. I mean, I know we're having a lot of dead air here, but does this look like the boss to you? So Macron was on grandpa duty. They always assign somebody to Trump. And since Macron was hosting, he got grandpa duty. So when Trump goes stumbling around aimlessly, he's walking around like Frankenstein's monster through this whole thing. I'm not going to bother you with all the videos, but there's just a few clips that just highlight just how just lost and out of it he is. They take a picture. That's part of it. It is. It's just part of it. They get together. They have a meeting. There's no negotiations at these tables. This is all for show, folks. This is literally all for show. The G7, there are not negotiations at the G7. The negotiations are handled before the G7. This is for the world to understand. Our leaders are getting together. Our leaders are making joint statements of understanding. Our leaders are, and it's photographs. It is. It's performative. We all sit around the table and then they read out loud all the shit that they had agreed to previously and make pledges of where they're going to go. And a lot of it was Iran this time. A lot of it was Iran. This is why Trump had to have this before the G7 meeting, because Iran was the focus of a huge portion of this meeting. So Trump knows why he's there. And basically this should be Trump's ballpark. I mean, this is nothing but playing for the cameras. And it's this over and over and over again. He just has no clue where he's going. They've got to no. Over here, Grandpa. Over here. More pictures. More pictures, Grandpa. He walked around, just lumbered around the whole damn time he was there. I mean, he couldn't get in and out of seats. There's videos of that if you want to go see him, where he's trying to get out of a chair. He's like, trying to get out of chairs. It's just pathetic. And when they were sitting, having conversations, when they were actually conducting business, these are the kinds of things that he wanted to talk about. Now, again, you're going to have to listen closely to this. The audio isn't fantastic on this. This was not a recording moment. This is one of those candid moments when they're sitting around. Listen to what he's talking about. At the G7, when they're talking about some of the most consequential issues in the world, this is where all the leaders get together in a summit, again, just to drive this point home, get together. This is when look at him. But yeah, the world leaders get together to drive home all the points, the agreements, everything that they've come together on, so that the world population sees where the 7 most consequential economies in the world, where they are going and what are they doing. That's how it's done. I mean, you telegraph everything, so there are no surprises. Listen to what Grandpa's talking about.
Guys, you don't invest in UFC.
I was telling your team earlier, this UFC is growing bigger and bigger. I mean, it used to be boxing, but now the UFC is the event and whatever.
Georgia Maloney just wants to get up and leave.
Dana is amazing. Mr. President, Dana is amazing guy. He's a great guy. Loves you guys.
Yeah, he's sitting there regaling them about the UFC match they held at the White House. As if it wasn't embarrassing enough already. This is what, when they have downtime, when they're talking to each other, when they're, this is why Trump is standing there by himself. Everyone is there to conduct business. Everyone there. And he's talking about the UFC. Jesus Christ, people. I mean, really, come on. Elect a clown, get a circus. Elect a clown, get a circus. But I wish that was it. I wish that was the most important. To me, this is probably the most embarrassing moment. I'm not even going to prep you for it. I'm just going to let you listen and be shocked.
We do support Egypt rights, water security.
Well, that's what we're going to be talking about. You don't listen.
How and when?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Of course, I support Egypt. He's a friend of mine from day one. I met him early in the campaign when Crooked Hillary and I were running against each other, right? And I was told that the president of Egypt is here. That was a big deal. It's still a big deal for me to be with the great president of Egypt, but not as big as it used to be before I ran. So he was in a hotel, and I met him, and we fell in love, deeply in love. And he didn't even want to see Hillary. He said, "You're going to win. I don't want to meet her." I was told that the president of Egypt is here. That was a big deal. It's still a big deal for me to be with the great president of Egypt, but not as big as it used to be before I ran. So he was in a hotel, and I met him, and we fell in love, deeply in love. And he didn't even want to see Hillary. He said, You're going to win. I don't.
Do you ever hear any world leader speak that way? Any world leader. Just fucking wow, man. This was just, this is not free. This is not free. This comes at a cost. I'm telling you, this comes at a cost. This really does come at a cost. This is, I can't stress this to you enough. This is not free. People don't get to see this weakness, this idiocy, this, this being put on full display is not free. This costs us in negotiations. This costs us. People know they can get away with things. They know that we don't have a president that's really actually running things. We just don't. So yeah, I mean that's where we are. That's where we are. I mean, when you see this kind of corruption on full display, it costs us globally. It does. It changes how people interact with us. Again, I can't say it enough. It's not free. When people see stuff like this, I mean, this is coming. This is why we've got to put Democrats in charge of the White House, or pardon me, the Congress and the White House. But in 2026, this is why we have to put Democrats in charge of Congress. Turns out, yeah, Kash Patel is running a MAGA loyalist slush fund. You may have noticed that the DOJ and the FBI are doing things that are out of character for them. They're crossing lines that they don't normally cross. Well, this is why. This is why. Turns out that Kash Patel has his group of loyalists within the FBI, a MAGA cadre, if you will. And he is deluging them with money. He has blown through the bonus program at the FBI to the point where they were actually bouncing checks, paying out bonuses that they had not moved money into that particular fund. They're literally bouncing checks. They're paying some of these agents to the tune of $8,000 a month in bonuses so that they will do shit that is just inappropriate, so that they will do what Kash Patel wants them to do. And Jamie, the incomparable Jamie Raskin, is all over it like a pit bull. He is. He's got letters out to the FBI. He's got letters out to the DOJ. This is the kind of thing that, this is the kind of thing that we will be investigating. This is the kind of thing that we will be putting a stop to when we take Congress back. Folks, there's, a really great special agent once told me, he says, if you ever sit down, first of all, if you ever sit down to have a conversation with a special agent and they want to talk to you about you, this is your response. One of the other things they told me was that when you talk to a special agent, one of the lines that they all say is, "Hey, I get paid either way, no matter what. Well, no matter which way this goes, I get paid either way. I just do an investigation. I don't get paid on which way this investigation comes out. I just get paid to do the investigation. So, hey, you might as well talk to me, right? Give me your side of it. That's a lie. Bonuses don't come for special agents that go out and do investigations and don't find crime. Bonuses come to special agents who do make cases. Yeah. So that bonus fund in and of itself is a motivator, but they are just using those bonuses to the extreme to pay agents to be political. I mean, this is something that you're going to see just explode over the next few weeks. Jamie Raskin is, like I said, he is on this like white on rice. I mean, he is. I mean, this is a big deal, folks. The level at which he is paying out bonuses is unprecedented. It is some of these agents are making $8,000 a month in bonuses. Not just a bonus of $8,000. No, $8,000 a month. And he's also using that bonus program to basically break the law. There are limitations on how much federal employees can be paid. He's got his advisory committee where he's brought people in from the MAGA world to advise him. He's paying them out of this bonus fund to boost their pay over what a federal employee is allowed to be paid. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. And these are the kind of people out there that are running these departments, because Trump isn't. He's just gone. He's just out there. I mean, he's lost. Before we get into it, let's read some of your comments before we get into what's going on with Iran. I want to do a roundtable on this discussion with Iran. A lot of people have a lot of questions, and I just want to make sure I address any questions that you have. I've been doing a lot of reading about, with the information that's out there, what we know is out there, what is actually being done. So we'll get into that. Before we do, let's read some of your comments. Peter Campbell, thank you for gifting the memberships. I really appreciate it. I really do. E.T., thing is, Cletus won't see that he was dog walked. No, they think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. They do. Kimberly George, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you're here. I am glad you're here. Thank you. Rich Lawton, thank you for their free memberships out there, folks. I'm going to run through it one more time. You hit that subscribe button, you hit the thumbs up button. That gets us out to the algorithm. But to get access to the membership, the emojis and all of the bonuses and chat and all the other stuff, you've got to hit that join button. And right now, due to the graciousness of members of our community, there are free memberships that don't cost you anything. All you have to do is snap them up, folks. ET, people, no matter what, we still have more than 2.5 years left of this stuff. We have to get on board for the long haul, as it is not fixed overnight. Amen, brother. Well said. Well said. Dying Begrudge. Hey, Paul, here with you as always. We're being attacked by every corporation, and no regulations are in place to stop it. From our phones, new cars, energy, news, predatory capitalism, 2027 BBB will shock you. Oh, it gets better with the Iran deal. You're going to love where this is going. George Leinenweber, right-wing tore Biden apart at the G7. They were all over it. So Grandpa can sit there and just be in la fucking land and nothing. E.T., where's the media shouting that he is wandering off like they shouted at Biden? I suspect him being gone via whatever route will be October surprise. Yeah, I mean, folks, we see it and it's good we call it out. But, to anybody that's out there that hasn't wrapped their head around it yet, there are two standards out there for the media, one for Democrats, one for Republicans. Republicans can literally shit in their hands and smear it on the walls, and Republicans will treat it as though it's some sort of policy maneuver. It's what's going on. But a Democrat, good Lord, you better have a PhD level command of everything you say, or, good God, what are you doing? Jordan B. Miller, Epstein 250 was a massive corrupt doze off Donald Trump failure. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Even Dana White's like, never again. Never doing this again. E.T., he said, you haven't given me any money recently. Omniscient Sphinx, the amount of scrubbing the U.S. news has to do to make Trump look good, and at the same time, the world is not even trying to hide how bad it is. Nope. The rest of the world sees it. They see it. They see it. George Lionel Weber, nothing is left of Donald Trump but his personality disorder. Yep. Marta, clowns don't have class. No, they do not. And we have one of the most classless dipstick pieces of shit in the White House. E.T., the U.S. is now the most corrupt nation in the world. Fighting for the title. Marta, Raskin is a beast. Awesome guy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Welcome, Jamie Jimenez. Glad to see you, brother. Glad to see you. Chandra Patton. Oy vey. Yep. Yep. Chandra, gifted 5 members. Chandra, thank you for being so generous. Folks, there are free memberships for you. All you have to do is snap them up. That's it. Sherry Ellison, thanking Biden's American Rescue Plan for my wheelchair ramps being built after a tractor ate my right leg. 4 days pinned to the ground. Damn. Jesus, Sherry. Jesus. I'm glad you're okay. I am glad you're okay. Dale, I'm going to go with Takar. Am I getting that right? Am I getting that right, Dale? Welcome. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. Very glad to see you here. So, yeah, this is happening, and it looks like it is really, really happening. The Iran deal is really happening. But, I want you to look at this through this lens. I do. I want you to listen to what Trump says here.
A balanced budget, because these are the kind of numbers. And I actually said to them, I said to Russell, don't send any money for daycare, because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up. But it's not possible for us to take care of daycare. Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things, they can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal.
Medicaid, Medicare, all of that should be state run. All of that should be done through we can't afford it. We can't afford it. The state should tax people and pay for it if they want it. Do you know why? Do you know why the oligarchs like that so much? It's obviously not about, being against the policy, because they're like, well, let the states do it. We can't afford it. The reason they want it is for the same reason I keep asking you this question. Do you think Elon Musk really lives in a shack here in Boca Chica, Texas? Do you really think that's his residence? I don't believe that for a minute. I mean, that guy is tech bro. He loves being in Virginia. He loves being in California. He loves being in New York. He loves being in all of those really expensive places, but don't pay taxes there. Well, no, I'm not a resident here. I live in Boca Chica, Texas. No, man, that's all it's about. You make these state programs and they don't pay shit for any of it. None of it. That's what that's about. That's what that's about. Is these people? We have a trillionaire, folks. That's obscene. That the fact that we even have a trillionaire that exists shows that we have failed as a society. That's obscene. And they're telling you their strategy. Oh yeah, we're going to take and we're going to say we can't afford this on the federal level. No, we can't. Oh man, we've wrecked the budget. We can't. We're in debt. We're going to have hyperinflation. We got to make, we'll let the states do this so they never pay for it because they'll just pretend to live in another state. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. But I want you to think about that because right now, man, Iran just got the sweetest deal you have ever seen. And man, I'm telling you, and again, before we do, I want you thinking about this. Iran has, it's estimated, about 3,400 civilian casualties, about 6,600 military casualties. Estimated about 30,000 Iranians have been injured in this war. We've had at least 13 service members die. We've had about 400 reported wounded, injured. Israel's had about 30 people die, with about 8,000 injured. And that's before you start talking about the other Gulf states and the financial damage, all of that. I mean, you've got, almost 150 people dead in Iraq, with, Lebanon, thousands. We have no idea in Lebanon. They're estimating, the estimates are coming in at 2,000 people dead in Lebanon since this started. The reason I'm saying this, the reason I'm talking about these numbers, and then you've got Bahrain, and you've got, Oman, Qatar, everyone, Kazakhstan was hit at one point. I mean, the number of people that have died, before you even start talking about just the financial damage, the infrastructure damage, the amount of money we're going to have to pay to fix all this stuff. To get a deal that was so sweet that Iran would have gladly taken this deal with no war. With no war. I am telling you, Iran just made the deal of the century. They have literally gone from pariah to playa. I can't stress to you enough. This deal is so sweet. Iran would have taken this. This is what they wanted. This is shit that they were demanding before we ever had a war. And what did they give up? Some saying that they gave up nothing, pretty much, well, virtually nothing, because if you watch this show from the very beginning, I have been telling you, Iran doesn't give a shit about a nuclear weapon. They don't. The development of a nuclear weapon has been a pain in the ass for Iran. They don't want it. They don't want to have to do it. What they want are defense guarantees. What they want is security. That's why they were developing the nuclear weapon, not because they could ever use it. That's the thing about nuclear weapons. They're incredibly expensive. Maintaining them once you finally develop them and build them is incredibly expensive. This is not what they wanted. That's why they've always traded this chip. For decades, they've been trading this off. They don't want this nuclear. That is the one thing. And I told you this. You can go back if you've been watching the show for a while. You'll know I've said this before, but you can go back and watch the show where I told you this is what they're going to trade. The nuclear program. That's what they're going to trade. I never, when I said that, dreamed that they were going to get literally everything that they wanted. And when I say they've gone from pariah to playa, I am not exaggerating in the slightest. And I want to do this as a round table. I do. I don't want to just try to list off things and so you know that this is really happening. This is really, really, really happening. This has just happened. This just happened. 3 Iranian oil tankers and 2 cargo ships just sailed through our much vaunted naval blockade and waved as they went by. The Sonia 1 just sailed through laden with oil. The Hero 2 just sailed through laden with oil. Just waved at the Navy as they went by. And the Diona also just sailed right through with Trump's blessings. So this is really happening. This is really happening. A lot of the questions circulating is money. How much money is Iran getting? And again, any questions that you have about the Iran deal, throw them up in the comments. We're going to try to roundtable this. We're going to try to roundtable this. Money. To start with, they get about a $12 billion windfall. They've been demanding, again, all of this was before any war happened. They've been demanding, and folks, this is the important part. This is the important part. We have had sanctions on Iran since before this happened. We have limited how they could do business, as far as banking is concerned. That's over. That's going away. Just wait for it. I'm going to explain. That's going away. All of those sanctions. We have limited how corporations, American corporations, can do business with and in Iran. That's over. Those sanctions are gone. They're over the next 60 days, those sanctions are gone. And I brought receipts. The strait, as of right now, is not open, but it is opening over the next 30 days. As well as our blockade is going away over the next 30 days. Our ships are leaving over the next 30 days. That is happening. Why? I mean, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Well, this is why. This is why. As far as natural gas, Iran has the second largest confirmed natural gas fields in the world, right behind Russia. We're third. Iran has more confirmed natural gas than we do. Yeah. So yeah, that's happening because of this is all happening because of this. This oil has I should say Iran has the third largest confirmed oil deposits oil reserves in the world. Venezuela supposedly has the largest, but it's shit oil. And as the CEO of ExxonMobil said, it's uninvestable. Saudi Arabia is the second. Iran is the third. And now they are open for business. Open for business. The big question most people have surrounds this, the $300 billion. The $300 billion. So let's start with the money that they're getting, where it's coming from, what does it look like? A lot of confusion that $300 billion is not coming out of your pocket directly. It is not taxpayer money. It's not American money. It's not European money, anything like that. And this is why I'm saying Iran got everything they were asking for, because, yeah, that $300 billion means way more the way they're getting it than if we just handed them $300 billion. It's not even frozen assets. It's not. To give you an idea how much that is, no, it's not frozen assets. What they're getting $12 billion up front and their assets unfrozen, and then another $12 billion over the 60 days that they're negotiating this are being unfrozen. Again, the sanctions are going away. The sanctions are going away. Now, J.D. Vance, Trump was saying, oh, the $300 billion is a lie. The Democrats are making that up and this, that, and the other. J.D. Vance actually sat down in an interview and confirmed, that's happening. That's real. And now Reuters has actually confirmed, that they've got over half of that money is already pledged and ready to go. The sanctions, as soon as the sanctions are falling away, and this is what that money is, okay? This is what that money is. It is corporate investment. It's not coming from a government. They have $150 billion in corporate investment coming from the United States, Japan, South Korea, some Nigerian oil companies are getting in. Yeah. The sanctions are going away. Corporations are flooding in to partner with Iran to invest in their oil fields, to invest in their gas fields, to invest in their transportation infrastructure, roads, bridges, everything, so that they can move oil. Yeah, that's what this is. That's what the $300 billion is. And what does that give Iran? Well, like I said, from pariah to playa, Iran, going back to the revolution, they have been under some sanctions. We as a nation have been opposing them doing business in the first world. That's gone. That's over. And as far as security guarantees are concerned, Israel hitting Iran before, well, they were just hitting Iran. Now, going forward, not anymore. No, you're hitting every major multinational conglomerate there is. And to give you some idea how big this investment is, it's equal to Iran's current GDP. Iran's GDP is about $300 to $350 billion. To give you an idea how stupid Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's GDP, and it's mostly through fintech, financial technology, their GDP is roughly $700 billion. That's how much corporate money is flooding into Iran. And they already have people lined up. They're bragging on saying, oh, the commitments are already, they're not lying about that, folks. Iran already has that. This is how badly people have wanted to get into Iran for decades and do business. Iran's GDP over the next 5 years is going to explode. They are literally now a first world player. And if Israel hits Iran going forward, they're not hitting Iran. They're hitting ExxonMobil. They're hitting British Petroleum. So yeah, Iran got their security that they were after in this deal. I mean, Iran isn't giving, they're not giving up any of their military. And so far, they don't even have to give up supporting Hezbollah. Now, that may change through the negotiations as more of this comes to light. People may realize, oh shit, they're still supporting terrorist organizations. We got to do something about this. But right now, they don't have to give up anything. I can't stress to you enough. The IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, there is no limitations on them. None. I just we talked about this. The big boys in the room would put pressure on Trump to make a deal. It has to happen for the global economy to function. And that's exactly how this is shaking out. That is exactly how this is shaking out. The oil will flow. If you take a look at the way it's breaking down, the first thing that happens is the oil starts flowing. The immediate waivers, the immediate sanctions that are disappearing are on oil and gas. They're gone immediately. It's going to be issued as, quote, a waiver that's going to last for the 60-day negotiation period. But yeah, the oil will flow immediately. Iran will again see their banking assets globally unfrozen. They're getting access to the banking systems that they've been frozen out of before. This is just all. It's one thing that just I never. I'm going to be honest with you. I know I'm kind of speechless on this. I didn't see it. I didn't see it going this far. I really didn't. I didn't see it going this far. Because, folks, we ended the revolution in Iran. That's over. Nothing with. There are no demands. Corporations don't care. They really don't care. There are no demands on humanitarian treatment. There are no demands on nothing. Is part of this deal. Iran literally gets security guarantees. They get access to our global banking systems. They get everything that they had demanded. And what do they have to give up? A Trump talking point. They're going to give up their enrichment program. that they never really wanted in the first place. I'm gobsmacked. I am. And yeah, the funds are already there. The $300 billion, the funds are already there. In just the week of negotiations, $150 billion worth of partnerships have already been established that are ready to go. As soon as this deal is signed on Friday, it's going to be a race. It's going to be a race between these corporations to get on the ground and make these deals and build this relationship so that they're the most favored company. And yeah, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? Well, it means energy prices are going to get very cheap. Probably in the long run, after about a year to 2 years, when the infrastructure investment is finally there and in place, probably too cheap. This is going to affect our domestic production market in a couple of years. American oil companies will suffer for this because, again, where our floor is versus where the floor is in the Middle East, two very different things. When I say floor, I'm talking about the cost of a barrel of oil, the price of a barrel of oil. If it falls and stays in the 40s, you see American oil companies, domestic producers going bankrupt. They can blow and go in Saudi Arabia in the 40s, and they're not making a lot of money, but they're still making money. Yeah, they're surviving. It's just, it is amazing the deal that Iran got out of this. They deployed a group of psychologists to deal with Trump. And this is just amazing. We're going to actually have to do some investigations to see what the Trump family is now invested in over this, because there's massive amounts of dollars just flowing like crazy. This is going to be insane. As it says, oil export waivers. The phase one is the oil export waivers. Auxiliary services, sanctions will be lifted on secondary services essential to oil trading. That's where the banking comes in, specifically banking, shipping, logistics, maritime transport, and insurance. The U.S. ships will disappear. That's immediate. Iran is also saying that $12 billion of their assets are being unfrozen, with the promise of another $12 billion over that 60-day negotiation period. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. Benjamin Netanyahu is going to try to blow this up. He is. This is his worst nightmare. A country run by the guy whose father, wife, and son he murdered is now in a position to be a global leader in energy production. Netanyahu can't let that happen. He can't. But the way this is structured, and again, this is kudos to Iran, the way this is structured, it's now Netanyahu against the world. It is now Netanyahu against the world. Because while Israel, they're in fintech, financial technology, and they're not a mass energy producer. They're not a mass industrial, force. They aren't. Iran is now. This is a complete shift, tectonic shift in the gravitational center of the universe in the Middle East. And Netanyahu is going to do everything he can to blow it up because, again, one of the things that they are arguing about, Iran says complete deal breaker, is Israel leaves Lebanon. You're going to see some back and forth on this because Netanyahu's going to say, no, this is ours now. Southern Lebanon is ours now. We're not leaving. We're not leaving. And they're going to try to blow this deal up. But Iran's going to throw Hezbollah under the bus there. Iran doesn't really give a shit about Lebanon. It's like when these nations pretend to give a shit about the Palestinians. They don't. They don't. This deal is so sweet for Iran. It literally changes the outlook of the next century. The rest of this century is what I meant to say. Just energy-wise, it does. And on top of it, just compare Israel and Iran. Israel, you have some religious, sightseeing, tourism. Iran is a beautiful nation. It really is. It is a beautiful nation. When sanctions drop on Iran, if the relationship follows a similar track, similar to what happened with the Japan and the U.S. after World War II or something like that. If you see an opening, if you see a closeness start to build over the next, you're talking about, this is the heart of Persia, people. This is Shiraz wines come out of there. I mean, I can't stress to you just the possibilities within Iran, not just in tourism, but I'm talking about what they can export. I mean, they have resources that Israel doesn't have. It just doesn't. I mean, this is I don't know how to stress it to you. This is a deal that Iran could have only dreamed of. And it appears 100% that they have it in hand. Again, with the sticking points that are coming up, the only bumps in the road that I see coming up are what Netanyahu and Israel try to throw up. And they've got no support because you've got some of the wealthiest people in every first world nation literally licking their chops at the potential, the investments in. And if you don't believe me, look how quickly $150 billion in investment lined up. Folks, it took less than a week to get $150 billion in commitments. Phase 3, permanent lifting of all sanctions. The permanent sweeping elimination of all remaining U.S. and UN sanctions will only take place after a final lasting agreement is assigned at the end of negotiations. We're talking 60 days from Friday. To achieve permanent sanctions relief, Iran must hit strict performance-based benchmarks. 1, dismantle its nuclear program completely. They don't give a shit, man. They don't give a shit. That's one we're going to end up paying for. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, man, this war, you beat us up bad. We need some help cleaning up this nuclear stuff. And you're the leader of the world in this. And we're going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. We'll clean this up for you. Neutralize and eliminate its entire stockpile of enriched radioactive material. Again, they don't want to pay to maintain this shit. They don't. I will not be surprised if that stuff doesn't end up in either one of our dumps or Russia's nuclear dumps. 3, accept a highly stringent international inspection and enforcement regime. What do they give a shit? They don't want the program. What do they care? And 4, guarantee the free flow of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz, which they did before the war. I'm waiting. Can somebody please tell me what Iran gave up in this? Because I have been unable to find it. This is why I wanted to roundtable this. What about the Iran-Russia link? Russia has come out condemning Israel and telling them they need to get out of Lebanon. Russia has also come out and vehemently said that they wholeheartedly approve of this deal. So, yeah, if you want to know if it's a good deal for America and its future, just take a look at how happy Russia is about it. George Leinenweber, I think Donald Trump farted at the G7. I'm sure he did. Kyra, good to see you. He won't make it until the 4th, please. Yeah, he's dying right in front of us. Michael Antonsu, blame Republicans for Trump behavior. Yep. Michael Daly, the morning brother. We're going to need a Democratic, trust-busting, corporation-breaking, Teddy Roosevelt-style president with a big stick. They can speak as loudly or softly as they want. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you on that. Wendy Bauman. When are we going to take the claw down and the curtains off the Kennedy Venetian? Yeah, I'm telling you. That it is just ridiculous how petty they are. ET, the wealth of the ultra rich has increased faster than inflation. While we make less and less get involved people, we need to do the work. Amen. Well said. Well said. Kismar, reality is depressing, dystopian, and toxic to mental health, but we have to keep fighting. We do. Jordan B. Miller, when the corrupt doze-off Donald was told to go to Vietnam, corrupt Donald Trump took off to Iran. I hear you. Gail Brownell, good to see you. Like Mr. Global says, the United States doesn't produce a drop of oil. Billionaire oil companies do. Russia and Iran produce oil. Many countries do. Yep, the corporations have just made out like crazy. They are Iran's security guarantees. Erica Gersberg, thank you for supporting the show. Appreciate you. Marie Crabtree, wouldn't it be better to rotate oil and fertilizer? Better in which way, Marie? And a 5-month member, by the way. Salute. Crafty Ash Gardner, thanks for gifting the memberships. I really appreciate it. Folks, there are free memberships out there. All you got to do is snap them up. Sherry Ellison, somewhere in deep space, intelligent life is looking at our beautiful blue planet and asking, what the hell is going on down there? Yeah. I love that meme that says, when aliens fly by Earth, they lock their doors. Dime Bree Garage, Paul, please correct me, but it seems that it has made Iran a huge global oil exporter, and Iran can do what they will to Israel. Will it stop Israel? Israel is fucked in this situation. Netanyahu cannot survive peace. He can't. Everybody is demanding it. Everybody is putting Israel on notice. This was idiocy on Netanyahu's part. He's going to end up in prison before this is over. He really is. They're trying to rewrite laws in Israel right now to keep him out of prison. Jeff Davis, thank you for gifting the memberships, brother. Free memberships. All you got to do is hit the join button. George Leinenweber, the corporations are going to shut warmongers like Mark Levin up. He wants Iran destroyed. Yeah, that's over. That is over. It's now Iran is open for business. Rena Scott, what a time to be an enemy of the USA. Rump will give you anything you want. Long as the oligarchs can make money, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. There is no right, there is no wrong. Folks, every one of those people that were standing up and fighting against the Iranian government, claiming they wanted a new, freer form of government, they are all done. It's over. It's over. We killed, and Netanyahu killed, and Israel killed the revolution in Iran. It is over. The corporate money is a-flowing. Do you think any instability is going to be allowed after this? No, no, no. And as long as Iran does not nationalize investments, the corps will allow and prop up the regime. They learn from previous history to their benefit. Yep. You have a guy right now. I want you to think about the amount of hatred he would have to have. His nephew, his son, his wife, his sister, his father, several members of his family killed. Yeah, he's not done. Would you be? Or would you sit back and watch your nation prosper and grow in power, take that money, invest it in your military, and fucking destroy Israel in 10 years? I mean, what would you do? What would you do in the same situation? Tube Kurt, Autocracy Inc. seems to have won the war. Yeah. Weird Idaho liberal. We got one that wears diapers in the White House, and pretty soon BB will have to start wearing them because the shit's going to be flying from here to Timbuktu. Yep. Netanyahu was an idiot. This is the end of the right in Israel. Kathy Young, may Trump celebrate 7-4 like Adams and Jefferson last did. Oh my God. ET, it is less than 20 weeks until the general election. Verify your voter registration and deadline dates. Know your early voting dates. Get involved. Christopher Daly, gift memberships cannot be snapped up. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. You hit the join button, and all you have to do, if it will not allow you to take a gift membership, is to change your YouTube settings to allow yourself to receive gifts. Google that and you'll learn how to do it. Jamie Mason, how do you get the Hague to take Trump to task? I don't know that they ever will. I'll be honest with you. I think we're living in an era that is so corrupt, that is so broken. I don't know that accountability is going to come anytime soon. I really don't. I really don't. But yeah, I mean, there's no other way to look at this, and there are a lot of people that do have misconceptions. They think that we're writing Iran a check for $300 billion. We aren't. We're doing the same thing that Barack Obama did. We're unfreezing their own assets, so they're going to get like $12 billion immediately in their own money, and then they're going to get, again, hundreds of, and $300 billion will just be the start, folks. I mean, this is the kind of thing. I mean, you have to understand, the sanctions are gone. The objections are gone. This is a new world for Iran, more than they could have ever hoped for, because right now, there are no demands on the government in Iran to change. So yeah, do you have any questions? Anything that we haven't talked about, or anything that I just want to give everybody a chance to understand what's going on, what's happening, what you'd like to talk about there, what if there's something that I haven't covered or haven't touched on. And folks, as far as MAGA is concerned, before this war started, they hated Iran. They hated him. Now, this is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened. Don't look for any consistency out of MAGA. That's not going to happen. Don't look for any consistency there. It's not going to happen. This has happened, and they've got to claim that it's the greatest thing ever because of Trump. And it does not matter that they've spent the last, their entire existence on this planet talking about Iran is evil and Iran, all of that is bad. That's over. That's over. Watch what happens on your social media, how everybody talks about how brilliant this is. Uh, Chris, Crystal Nicholson, is it possible that Trump engaged in a war with Iran as a guise to assist Iran to please Putin? I don't think he's that deep. I don't think he's that deep, to be quite honest with you. I think Netanyahu, he was in deep political trouble with the, Epstein situation and everything that was happening in Venezuela was blowing up in his face. They were blowing up. Uh, they were committing war crimes. They were humiliated over Greenland. They were just, people's political memories are quite short. They don't remember how much trouble Trump has been in. And this was just Benjamin Netanyahu saying, "Hey, man, people will love you for doing this. Let's have a round of attack Iran." And Trump believed it was going to be just like the last time they did it, in and out, and puff up and talk about how tough you are. He never expected this. And I have to tell you, Iran has played this beautiful. I can't stress this enough. Iran has played this beautifully. They literally have gotten everything they've wanted out of it. I'm going to take a second to read some of your comments, see if I can find. Reno says, after seeing how things worked out with Iran, Greenland now wants us to attack them. No shit, man. No shit. People will be lining up to go to war with us. This is I like orchids. And now where does the religious right stand? They have no morals. There's no guiding principle. None. It's exactly as I explained to you. They are cool with it. They are. I mean, they're all in Republican, and a Republican did this, so now it's got to be good. It's got to be good. A couple of weeks ago, they were all screaming about Sharia law, and now it's all going to be all Iran, all do business, all everything. Trump's brilliant. That's just the way they are, man. That's just the way they are. Don't look for consistency from them. It's not there. Welcome, Anna Barr. Welcome. Eden Vinsky, just throwing love to the community. Nice to know I'm not alone. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Best people around, man. Clarence, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, my friend Clarence. Iran, Persia is one of the world's great ancient civilizations. Let's see how long the supreme leadership can hold on without us to hate. Yeah, that is, and that is a great great way to frame that too, Clarence, because just as much as Netanyahu needing conflict and a boogeyman and war to stay in power, that's how this Muslim fundamentalist, pretty extreme government in Iran has held on to the power. People aren't really happy with it anymore. They aren't. I mean, they really want their government to lighten the hell up. And this may be a catalyst for change. I mean, soft diplomacy is a real thing. If you've got somebody that's a complete fuckhead, doing business with them and relationships over time tends to soften them up. Who knows? This may end up being a good thing for the Iranian people over the long run, but right now, again, their revolution is over. This is a great point, Clarence. E.T., he knows that he is dog walking the great Satan. Yeah. Netanyahu played Trump like you negotiate with a child. I'll buy you an ice cream cone if you're good. Carl Rossi. So the biggest military on the planet surrenders. The Department of Defense was named for that reason. Volunteer for the polls as observers. Yep. Marta, thank you for gifting the memberships, Marta. Putin is afraid of revolutions in other countries. Yeah, Putin, I'm telling you, he's got to be a guy that's not sleeping too well lately. He really does. I mean, he's running out of I don't know if you followed what's been going on in Ukraine militarily. If you keep an eye on it, I do. There are several really good resources out there. But Ukraine has spent the last year utilizing their inexpensive drones to wear away at Russia's air defenses. And they finally reached the point where they can pretty much unopposed strike targets, even in Moscow, one of the most secure cities in the world as far as air defenses are concerned. They've been able to strike in Moscow. That really changes the way this war feels to the Russian people. This war is coming home. And yeah, Putin is in trouble. He's in real trouble. Marie Crabtree, better for the world to get product faster to everyone. I am telling you folks, this is how it's going to play out for you. Gas prices, I'll come back to this comment. Gas prices are going to fall a little bit, but again, real world prices at the refineries are not changing. The amount of oil that's available that's it. There's only so much available. And this war has seriously strangled that supply. So you're going to see gas prices probably creep back up just a little bit for a while. And we're going to have, for several months, higher energy prices. Then you're going to start to see it fall over the long term. And here's the question. Is it going to be global instability? I mean, is it? I mean, because you've got, OPEC has been crumbling. You've got another, again, we did a show on another nation leaving OPEC. People are tired of OPEC. So if oil prices continue to fall, that is actually going to hurt our domestic oil production here. You're going to start seeing companies bankrupting themselves. For you personally, it will mean cheaper energy prices. It'll help with inflation over time. Energy inputs are a big part of inflation. But long term, when our oil companies start to go bankrupt, and you start to realize that our American oil companies are really global corporations and they're doing business everywhere else but here, you'll start to see years down the road, those oil prices, a couple years down the road, those oil prices starting to creep back up again, gas prices starting to creep up back again, and we won't have the infrastructure in place to deal with it. We won't. This is something that's going to take a very steady hand at the tiller to navigate through. I mean, this could be potentially a very bad thing long term for us, anyways. William G. Atheist, the orange felon is going to want to turn the page ASAP. It will really suck to be a Cuban in the coming weeks. Yeah, there's no telling which way he's going to come. And folks, the talking points you're going to want to hear, you're going to hear out of the right is Iran and nuclear weapons. They didn't give a shit about nuclear weapons. They didn't. And Trump made another peace deal. This deal would have sold itself without a war. It just would have. It just would have. Dave Mon, the fact that the majority of white evangelicals voted for Trump is proof to me that there's no Holy Spirit. Well, there's no guiding direction in our evangelicals. There aren't. Ethan Vinsky, thanks to whomever gave me a membership, must have happened today and I missed it. Well, congratulations, brother. Robert Walsh, thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you. Rena Scott, yes, Netanyahu played Trump just like Musk did and just like Stephen Miller does daily. I will tell you, Musk, as a side note, I'll come back to that in just a second. Let me read this. David Cantu, Congress broke their oath of office and allowed the separation of powers to collapse. They need to face justice. Do you think that will happen? At the ballot box. At the ballot box. Republicans are not going to hold anybody but a Democrat accountable for anything. They're just broken as a party. They are. Rena Scott, yes, Netanyahu played Trump like Musk did. And I want to talk about Musk for a second and Doge and all of that. These broligarchs, and truly a lot of your MAGA friends and family, have this delusion that government just wastes money. That's all they do. Everything's a waste. They don't know what the government does. They don't know, how it actually applies. Even broligarchs don't. If it's not a program that specifically serves them, it's all waste, and you're making them pay taxes for it, and they hate you. They hate you. That's why when Doge came around, it was such a failure. They would make these stupid cuts based on what Grok told them they could cut out of the government. They would use AI, and then it would be a disaster. Case in point, screw worms. Last year, they were making fun of the United States government is breeding infertile flies. What a waste of money. Oh, don't seem like much of a waste now, does it? Because I don't know if you've been following it, but the screwworm infestation has exploded. They're finding that shit all over Texas and New Mexico now. It's not just the 5 that it's dozens of infestations. But they have this delusion because they just don't want to pay taxes. So it's all got to be a fraud. Well, no, they don't invent these programs because it's Tuesday and they're bored. They invent these programs and these systems because a problem happens. And when you eliminate these systems and these regulations, the problem comes back. But they don't care about that because these are not deep thinkers. These are not people. They're instant gratification people. They're just shut up and give me mine and fuck you and theirs. ET, the only truly American oil companies are the small guys that really don't matter. Get involved, people. Those are the people that will go bankrupt. You'll start seeing them in a year and a half, 2 years. You'll start seeing them crying about it. Oil's too cheap. Harold Puttinson, thank you. Thank you for supporting the show. I really appreciate you. Lisa Kiefer, conspiracy. If Elon trying to bring down the U.S. like the rest of the world brought down South Africa apartheid, again, I don't know. I believe in Occam's razor. I do. Just go for the simplest, straightforward thing. He's just dumb and weird. I mean, could it be a revenge tour? That would take a lot. I mean, that would take a lot. It just kind of more appears he's just fucking dumb and selfish, like these people are. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest with you. I don't know, Lisa. I don't know. I don't know what's inside the man's head. You know, it might be spite, it might be vengefulness, it might be, but I just think he's fucking dumb. And I'll give you an example. American executives are the worst. They really are. All they focus on is that bonus. All they focus on is, that stock dividend. They don't look big picture or long term. And I'll be honest with you, China is handing us our ass because of that. Because we seem to only care about what the profit margin is right now, and how is it going to pay off. And I'll give you a really big. Let me see if I can find you a headline for it. BYD develops solid state sulfide battery. There you go. This is tectonic in nature. This is, I can't stress to you the difference that this makes in electric vehicles. This is everything. I'll give you an example. Right now, people struggle to buy EVs. Like me, I'm rural. I have a hard time with an EV because sometimes I have to drive across Texas, and that means stopping and charging. It's just not practical, and I can't sell it to my wife. I can't. She's not having any of it right now. That's over. Solid state sulfide batteries that China and BYD have developed end the lithium batteries that we're using now in electric vehicles. They don't have the fire risks that come with lithium batteries, and the range. You're talking about right now, you're lucky to get 300 miles out of an electric vehicle. A solid state sulfide battery, you're talking about a range of 700 to 1,000 miles on a charge. I mean, this is game changing in the extreme. But it wasn't cheap. BYD is saying, look, you're only going to be able to get these batteries in the most expensive of their cars till about 2030. They're going to put them in their top end vehicles. Like right now, we think we build cool shit here. Right now, BYD makes electric vehicles. You walk out to the parking lot, your car sees you on the camera. It recognizes you. And you wave at the car and tell it to come here. And it will pull out of the parking space to give you room to get in your car. That's a real thing, folks. I mean, they really do that. Top end Chinese EVs really do a lot of cool shit that ours don't do. And again, this development of solid state sulfide batteries will change EVs forever. I mean, that's it. Lithium batteries are problematic. BYD has said it's going to take them about a year, because right now, I want you to think about this. It's different material in the batteries, so they have to source an entirely new supply chain. Right now, they've got a lithium supply chain. Globally, their buyers have been going out and buying all of the materials they need and signing contracts to get the lithium on ships delivered to them so they can process it into batteries, right? That whole thing needs to be recreated for all the materials they need for sulfide batteries because they're completely different. Then it's an entirely different battery shape. It's an entirely different battery structure. They've got to build a factory or retool an old lithium factory with new equipment. This is all going to take time to ramp up their production. But once they do, that's it. Fuck Tesla. Fuck anything made here. You're talking about the difference between a car that goes 300 to 350 miles max on a charge to a car that goes 700 to 1,000 miles. And we didn't invest in it. We didn't develop it because, the Trump family was too busy buying into mineral supply, mineral corporations. That's where we're at, folks. I mean, our executives suck. They don't look long term. Their entire culture here in the United States, our executive culture sucks. And frankly, what's going to happen is just like with AI, you're going to pay for it. Just like with this Iran deal, you're going to pay for it. You're not going to pay up front. Corporations are going to invest in it. But what do you think is going to happen after that? You're going to pay the corporations back. You're going to pay them at the gas pump. You're going to pay them in your electric bills. This all rolls downhill to you. Same with AI. These executives were idiots about the way they dump money into AI and the data centers, and they're building data centers right now that when they're complete will be technically obsolete. The day they go online, they'll be technically obsolete. So what are they going to do? They're going to fuck you. They're going to force you into, just like they did with cell phones. You didn't have top tier service on your cell phones. That technology was out there. They just don't give it to you. They utilize their ties to the Republican Party specifically to hold you and your services back. So you're going to pay top tier prices for AI services while our government actively keeps competitive services out of our market. The same thing that they do with electric vehicles, the same thing they do with every technology. So yeah, this is coming out of your pocket, folks. It always comes out of your pocket. When you see Republicans talking about, the Iran deal, y'all are so stupid. This isn't coming out of our government. No, it is. It's coming out of your pocket. You'll pay it at the gas pump instead of when you pay your taxes. I bet you didn't think we were going there when you asked that question, did you, Lisa? Great question. Weird Idaho Liberal. The autopsy of Cletus will reveal mushroom stamps on the brain. Very velvety, smooth brain. Agent Cage's John, miss you guys. Get refreshing back. It's refreshing to be back in Canada at a campground for the summer with my RV camper. John, I'm glad to see you here, man. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you can get service. Netadol, at some point, the world will use less oil. As the world moves away from it, everyone but the United States. Yeah. I mean, we're always gonna need oil, but we'll need less of it. Agree. Totally agree. DTQ, that's already happening. Our global demand for oil really is not increasing. It's been stagnant for a long time. DTQ, EVs are still impractical for non-homeowners. Yep. There's a lot to go. That's why I was really surprised that they didn't go more with hydrogen fuel cells. But yeah, folks, I'm telling you. I am telling you. You saw Trump talking about we can't afford Medicaid, we can't afford Medicare, any of that. Folks, this is the way it works, man. We're going to see some financial crises in the United States government in the coming years. We just can't keep spending the way we're spending without increasing revenues. We just can't. And the Republicans are dead set against, not only are they dead set against increasing revenues, they're working actively always to actually cut our revenues, which means we can't spend on everything anymore. So we're going to have to make decisions on what gets cut. Who do you want making those decisions? Do you want the Republicans that handed us this Iran deal? They don't really give a shit about you or American manufacturing or the future of our energy industry, or whether or not they don't give a shit about the environment. They don't care about anything. Do you want them making the decisions, or do you want Democrats making the decisions that actually care? Man, this is an easy no-brainer. A Democrat, if we'd elected the smart lady, we'd have got to deal with Iran with no war. We wouldn't have spent $100 billion while they're cutting children's cancer research. We spent $100 billion on this war in Iran to get a deal we could have got by sitting down and handing them a Coke. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to get people to just put on the jersey, be ride or die, be a proud Democrat and say, look, yeah, we've got a fork in the road. We got two different ways to go. I'm going that way. I don't know what it's going to take to make that happen. Do you? You should be worried about Social Security, John. You should be. You should be. Republicans have been raiding the Social Security Trust Fund forever, and now the math isn't mathing anymore. That trust fund is going to go away. I mean, now we pay more into FICA than Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare. That math is inverting. That money won't be there for them to take anymore. So what are they going to do? They're going to take from you. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand what it's going to take to get people to just quit focusing on stupid shit. All they want to talk about is transgender people. And I have never seen a group of men. What is wrong with half of American white men that all they think about is other men's dicks? Constantly is all they think about. What the fuck, man? I know gay people that think about dick less than these people. That's a fact. I have friends. I know gay men that spend less time thinking about other Americans' dicks than Republicans do. Yeah, that's not an easy fix either, Pasandeta. That's going to take a while. That's going to take a while. Our herds are the smallest they've been in 50 years. That's going to take a while to fix. I can tell when Mrs. Texas Paul thinks I've been talking too long because the coffee quit's coming. I'm so damn lucky. I can sit here and talk with you people and have a good show, and my beautiful wife will just bring me cup of coffee after cup of coffee after cup of coffee. How fucking fortunate is that, man? I'm telling you. Mark Gunn. Sorry I'm late today. Did we already talk about how awesome the Scottish soccer fans? No, we didn't. If y'all haven't seen it, look up Boston and Scottish fans, the Scottish soccer fans, or just Scotland and the Scottish and Boston. They are so freaking cool, man. They are. You're gonna love the videos and what's going on. And you know what? I want to address something about this. EVs are impractical for non-homeowners. You know what? If you elect Democrats, Democrats will set up programs, environmental programs, to actually help landlords and apartment complexes put charging stations into your parking lot. Yeah, I mean, we'll invest in the infrastructure. Republicans will not. Elmo up north drove an EV Ranger 28 years ago when I worked for Ford. The auto industry was ahead of the market. The Luddite consumer refuses to change. You know, actually, it really has to do. I'm telling you, these solid state sulfide batteries, I it's night and day. It's night and day. When China gets these things, gets factories built where they can sell these to other manufacturers, because that's what's going to happen, is they're going to end up selling us their batteries. Yeah, that's it. That's the tipping points. You're going to see demand in gas vehicles plummet and demand for electric vehicles skyrocket. There's always been that hesitation in the market to go to electric vehicles. And I'm telling you, it's everything to do with range. Chandra Patton, they've been rating Social Security for years based on outdated lifespan charts, ignoring the fact that people are living longer. Yep. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Arcana Clan, as a trans woman, 3 years on HRT as of June 24th, living in East Texas, I have to say it's scary, terrifying, and truly stupid how they focus on the wrong 1%. I'm not attracted to children for wanting queer kids to not be dead. Amen. Amen. Couldn't have said it better. All they do is create these fantasies in their head, because they want to justify all of their bullshit. They don't want to focus on the fact that they can't fucking govern. So let's just make up some shit in their heads. Look, I'm telling you, the gay agenda is not to make you or your kids gay. It's not. It's not. The gay agenda okay, I'm going to share the secret gay agenda. Okay. It's healthcare. It's paying the rent. It's financial security. It's finding the person you love and living a happy life. Shh. 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 That's the secret gay agenda. Fucking Republican morons. Well, folks, I appreciate you. I went a little bit longer. I was trying to keep it to an hour and a half today. If there's any, we're going to get more details over the coming days. Um, the way this is shaking out, this negotiation, it's like all the demands even aren't on the table yet, because there's going to have to be something about Hezbollah and the Iranian supportive terrorist organizations. That's going to have to happen. That's going to, thank you, honey. Thank you. Yes, I just got more coffee. They're going to have to put something on the table about that. They are. There's nothing there now. And as people look at this deal and realize, well, this sucks. We could have had this at any time. We didn't have to waste $100 billion in people's lives and kill children to get this. They're going to have to make more and more demands. So it'll get sticky over the next 60 days. Plus, you throw in that psychopath Netanyahu, who is watching his worst nightmares come true. A nation that literally wants you dead is now sitting pretty, and corporations are now invested in their survival. Yeah, this is Netanyahu's biggest nightmare. But yeah, folks, I appreciate you. We're going to call it. Arcana Clan, my coffee is almost ready. Yeah, just got mine. Folks, I appreciate you being here. If you got any other questions, or you hear any points or anything, make sure you email me. Let me know if I missed anything. And again, I appreciate you being here. I always do. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.